Good evening, one and all, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have got a race for you tonight. This is the 2021 Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup. This is the final match between zer0rush and latebit, and this is Game 3. They have each won one apiece, and this will be the decider. In the commentary booth tonight, we have my MDM and Ridley Dragon. Guys, take it away.
Good evening, all you fans of Rando out there, and welcome to the ultimate game of the Link to the Past Randomizer 2021 Challenge Cup Tournament. I am my NDM and Ridley Dragon coming right alongside in the booth here. We hope to bring you a wonderful and exciting match this evening.
Yep. After the first two matches, I think we can safely say we can expect an exciting match. zer0rush winning the first match by about 3 minutes. latebit coming from behind on Ganon to win by under a minute last night to force a game 3. This should be an exciting one.
Definitely a series that has lived up to the hype so far. latebit actually had a lead through most of Game 1, and then the Ice Rod vacationing in its vacation home up there in Turtle Rock came out and bit him. zer0rush went right in for it and managed to turn Game 1 around. Otherwise, we might not be talking about a Game 3.
But we also definitely would not be talking about a Game 3 if not for the sword advantage and the perfect Ganon that latebit did last night to come back.
Yep, we've seen quite a bit from both of these runners in these two games. Of course, we've seen quite a bit from both of these runners throughout the entirety of the tournament, and they ought to be getting underway here momentarily.
In fact, they are now. That is the only text box, according to Link's uncle. That's randomized over anything else. Blue potion off the bat at least gets you the sick kid right away in Kakariko Village.
Yep, sick kid available if you happen to want to do a little damage boosting through the escape, or if you just have a room get a little sideways on you, you've got that extra safety already in hand.
And zer0rush last night had this room get a little sideways, considering how close it wound up. It mattered. It was a 10 bombs. This is Blue Cane escape. That's not terrible, but that's not great either. Oh, and a bow!
Alright, the bow's nice. You need to find a handful of sticks before that actually matters, but it's a little nicer of a weapon than the Blue Cane if somebody happens to want to turn some arrows out here in the near future.
Now here's my question to you. You had the bow right off the bat. Oh, he actually looked. He has the same idea as I do. It's a pendant. If it was a crystal, do you not go to Kakariko first? Do you go to Eastern?
Ooh, that is an interesting and potentially spicy play, whether it's a pendant or a crystal. Here in this final match, does latebit think that the way the first couple of games have turned out, is it in his favor to keep on just going to those crystal dungeons that he can full clear, or does he want to do something a little different?
Map in the first chest.
Boring map in the first chest. It just means that you're going to raid the poor box at the end of this little adventure.
The poor don't need it.
And we'll say we've seen quite a few of, Burna escapes, bomb escapes, a little bit of everything. This tournament starting with 160 players.
Yes.
And it's come down to this.
The largest Challenge Cup ever. 50 rupees in the chest there. Heading on down to the cell chest.
Yep, 50 rupees from the seed. You may be thinking, well, am I just going to have to buy my own bombs? Is that really what this seed is going to put me through? We're going to have to come all the way back into the escape sequence?
I don't think any of the prize packs have bombs on them right now.
Well, the guards are certainly in the rupee pool, and latebit going to spend some more of that magic to go 1 pot and 4 rounds with Burna.
B-Torp in the cell chest.
Yeah, be in a bottle. I wonder if we'll see either of these runners in the very near future use Quick Swap to find out whether or not that was a good bee.
Could be useful in a number of places, particularly if you need to kill some things in the escape when you're low on whatever resource you have to deal with. In this case, it would be magic or arrows.
Yeah, it could be that. If you can hold on to it till Kakariko Village and it's a good bee, you could turn it in for $100, which is,
Very
of course,
true.
the cost of the bottle vendor.
In case you're just joining us, this is the decisive Game 3. Winner will win the championship in this best-of-3 series. zer0rush losing last night, that was his second loss of the entire tournament. He has been on a tear, and I would say he was one of the favorites of this tournament.
Yeah, if the prediction brackets were anything to go by, you could even call him an overwhelming favorite, at least of the people who took the time to fill brackets out. But latebit not to be denied in Game 2 has gone ahead and forced this one all the way. We're going to go the distance.
Yep, in case you're... Some questions in the chat. This is a standard 7-7 standard item pool. It's a regular old seed. They're neck and neck at the moment.
Yep, nothing particularly strange about this one. This is not the main tournament, so we'll see things like mail upgrades, butter sword, silver arrows. At least theoretically, they're in the pool. They're not going to turn into green 20s on us.
Ooh, they both just burned out all their magic.
Going to use the blue potion, at least on zer0rush's side, to try
Yeah,
and farm a
zer0rush...
few more rats.
You're trying to get a bomb, but I don't think it's going to happen. That's arrows.
Yeah, so the rats are in the sticks pool. There are no bombs in the escape sequence, and
Nope.
latebit's going to gain a little bit of time by not searching around for them.
Let's rob a church. What do you think? Oh! Just some old used gloves in the poor box.
I don't know, maybe that's where the priest keeps his lifting straps.
That's just the that is an early glove in a series where we have not had that yet. The seeds have generally been pretty fast for these first two. A lot of items very early on.
And also interesting that you find that glove right after you bypass the 3 chests in the back of escape because you have no bombs. So now as soon as you have bombs, you can go back and, put up those 3 checks right out of your mind.
Nothing going on in the back of the woods. Just a piece of heart. And dropping down to the thieves' hut. More money. That's nice. Still looking to find some bombs, but at least you can purchase them fairly safely. And with the all the chests you're opening before you get to the bottle vendor, you'll probably be able to buy bombs and pay them off. Especially if there's a good beat.
Yep, seems like an entirely safe play. If you're so inclined, you can go back down and just buy the bombs and kind of start the village from the bottom instead of the top. It looks like that might be latebit's idea.
That's what latebit is doing. zer0rush is going to just take a chance. Nope. Had the same idea. Red boomerang. Not a useful item.
Yeah, just kind of making that one last hopeful play for the 3 bombs before you go spend the money on them. Makes sense.
Shield, also not a useful item. That's the paper plate.
Yep, Fisher Price Heroes First Shield will block Octorok rocks and arrows, and that's about it.
Alright. zer0rush we'll have to go back and check those 2 checks that he did not do.
Going to be heading back down in that direction anyway, since the library and the race game are both down in that, general vicinity.
James Guy asked a question. Whoever wins gets to work as an unpaid intern for me. Is that the terms of the contract? No, not at all. The prize I get for this race ending is that the tournament's over. I don't have to run it anymore. This has been going on for... Oh! Not a great bomb drop, but it's okay. Not a big deal.
Yep, just money, money, money in the well. Plenty to pay off that bottle vendor now, but, away our runners go.
I love this tournament, don't get me wrong, but we've been doing this since April. It's been a very long time. Ice Rod. Considering 2 pendants are in Light World, it's more than likely that Turtle Rock's going to be necessary.
And you have to imagine that between the 2 runners, it's latebit who will be very happy to see that, being that was the key item that cost him game 1.
Cape could be an Agaseed. That's very true. Yep, we have the Cape come up, so we could easily have an Agaseed. You want to see the lamp, or maybe don't want to see the lamp.
Yeah, kind of in a position at the moment where you have 1 piece of each side of the puzzle. You have that glove to start trying for your normal Dark World access, or you have the cape, so maybe you're expecting to go through Aga. Little column A, little column B.
You still need a sword as well, but you definitely want a sword. There's no situation where you're going to beat this game without 2 swords. Map check on zer0rush's side.
And it looks like latebit has managed to hold on to that ever so slight
almost
lead.
on the library.
Could be valuable, could be valueless. Maybe start wondering how soon the boots might show up. It could be the key into Ice Palace for all we know.
Race game is vanilla. I believe we're going to see South now. I'm wrong. Oh, we're going to see... I know what we're going to see. We're going to see back escape on both sides.
Love plus bombs. 3 items. They know all 3 of them are items. The map already showed up. Well, that's a whole lot of nothing.
Now I think we're going to see the south of Hyrule. And yes, we are. This is where you'll see a little bit of divergence, because I believe zer0rush always skips the dam. And latebit does not.
Yep, there are a number of different ways that runners will do these South Shore checks, and the 2 that we have in our grand final do have different ideas about how they want to go about it. We've seen this in both of the first 2 games, and it's going to play out again here tonight.
No mirror tonight, so you gotta do it the long way. Just 50 rupees in the front of the dam. Ooh, big miss.
Not that zer0rush is particularly short on arrows, but these mini Moldorms are not being the most cooperative things in the world.
A little squirrely.
Oh. A little wormy. Squirrely would be dead rocks.
That's true. Nothing going on the dam. And blue mail and mini Moldorm, but that's about it.
Yeah, the 3 bomb pack to top back up with, I guess, is not a terrible thing to find when you're not full on bombs, but yeah, not really a whole lot worth talking about there in that mini Moldorm cave.
Awful lot of places to go right now.
Saha's Closet, you have to start wondering, does a lamp show up? Do I want to go all the way through Pendant Eastern? Is Pendant Eastern really the play this evening?
Oh, if nothing else comes up, let's see what Ice Rod Cave has. latebit did a nice job of those Moldorms on the other hand. And an Ice Rod Cave. Nothing.
Yep, whole lot of nothing.
They do have access to Zora with gloves. They'll probably want to fake flippers, but again, it's still just not a lot of it in logic checks right now.
Yeah, not a lot to work with there. With no Moon Pearl, you're also looking at the lack of ability to do the waterfall, at least the normal way.
Right. If you wanted to, you could do the dark room for the old man, but again, you're not getting very much out of that right now. You'll get the old man, you'll get the inside of Spectacle Rock, and that's it.
Yeah, that was a flute that zer0rush saw there on Lake Hylia Island. Going to find the flippers and a mirror at some point, you would think.
Unless the mire is a pendant?
Yeah, Myers' pendant could put those two items just about anywhere, but
Yeah.
early days yet, you would kind of expect it to show up, given that we only have one more pendant to go, and somebody can talk to Sahasrahla and find out where that is.
zer0rush is in fact going to do that. zer0rush is not gonna zer0rush is gonna do that, but latebit's gonna do it first.
Yep, latebit foregoing that out of logic hobo check is going to be the first one into Sahasrahla's closet.
And nothing going on here so far. Yeah, just another shield. Don't forget to talk to Sasha. He forgot to talk to Sasha.
Yeah, latebit not interested in that knowledge. Kind of interesting, I would be curious.
I would want to know. I think latebit's going right in for Eastern.
Yeah, there are too
Zero
many
doesn't want to know
missing.
either.
Yeah, there are too many pieces missing from either of the forms of available Dark World access to skip Eastern here. There's just not enough left over.
No, you're talking about doing single item checks like that take a while, like Agina or Zora.
And really, who wants to go get scammed again?
Right.
Meanwhile, welcome, Wall Kicks, and a raiding party of 16. You are joining in progress about 16 minutes in the grand final, the ultimate game of the grand final, game number 3 between zer0rush and latebit. This is a Challenge Cup match.
This is the last Challenge Cup match, I hope. I keep saying I hope because there is a possibility in this tournament, if they finish within 3 seconds of each other, that's considered a tie and they have to replay the game. So there is a possibility of a tie. The game 4, and a game 5, and a game 6, and a game 7.
Well, 7-game series are kind of the standards, aren't they?
Yep, well, the Moon Pearl there. Still don't have Dark World access quite yet, but that's a nice step. Makes this not a waste of time, at least.
And to answer the question in chat, have ties happened? Why, yes, they have. I, in fact, have been part of one of those ties.
The whole procedure that gets invoked if they're that close, we have to actually retime the race. And the flippers. Huh.
Well, isn't that entertaining? And latebit's done. He says, I've got flipper checks to do now.
That's also the last 2 checks you can do in logic. Because the next one's behind the dark room.
Yeah, I mean, I can't expect that any dark room is going to hold either of these runners back, and in fact, it's not going to hold zer0rush back, but latebit wants to stay in logic here, which makes a lot of sense.
There's no lamp, so this is both not logic, and there's also has to be the big key. So unless you're going to finish the dungeon, which I guess zer0rush is going to finish the dungeon. But with flippers, you can do all of the Zora checks all at once now. And you're just a hammer away from Dark World access.
latebit with a nice fake flipper set up there. Hitting the fake flipper spot, but has the real flipper, so it doesn't matter.
That's just muscle memory.
it's a good habit to be in.
Yes. I don't know if I like this play by zer0rush. This is a lot of time for one check. That's not in logic.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of this out of zer0rush in the later stages of this tournament, choosing to be very specifically thorough, even if some of the checks along that thoroughness are out of logic, thinking,
Well,
I have an execution advantage that's going to see me through.
got a half magic out of it, so that's not bad. On the ledge, nothing on the ledge. Nothing in the waterfall fairy either, though. Well, Armos can't have anything. Armos has a compass, I believe.
I believe you are correct, and so this may be one of those situations where the Zorlord is not actually holding out on us. It may just be extortion rather than an outright scam.
It's a scam.
Nope, just a scam.
So, Agina?
I think we're down to Agina.
Agina.
And I guess theoretically Agina could have our lamp and the actual progression is going to be up on the mountain, but that seems unlikely at this point. Not impossible, just unlikely.
I mean, Agina has to have something at this point, right?
Yep, just a question of what.
It could be a fetch quest either. It could be the shovel, but it has to have something. Could have boots. Absolutely could have boots.
Well, latebit's going to go ahead and show us.
It is, in fact, mitts.
Dark World access acquired at 20 minutes and 30 seconds for the latebit. Going to see a sanctuary start, since the only thing those mitts are really going to do right now is allow him into the portal over at the village.
It's not the most pleasant Dark World access because you still can't really get... Well, with the flippers you can, but it's a long way around to get to the eastern part.
Yeah, there is a long, slow slog if you want to go from this western portal over to the east side of the map, particularly when you also have no boots yet.
But this is where you lead off with doing Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town. Unless, of course, Thieves Town is a pendant, which would be particularly cruel.
Yeah, some runners might choose to put it off anyway with no hammer.
The pendant is Ice Palace. Red crystals are Thieves Town. I don't think you put it off with a red crystal. Gonna do the checks. No fire rod. Gonna go in and do the checks in Swamp. Swamp and Skullwoods.
Yep, team treat the front of Skullwoods as Overworld.
Even if he gets the fire rod, he's not gonna be able to get to him off. Not without a sword.
Yep, the lack of sword is going to hold him back, so maybe thinking, well, there's absolutely no way, aside from this dungeon having two very specific items, that I actually clear it right now anyway, so let's just see if we can find a couple of items and move on.
The map. This is so slow to do, though. Gonna go get a key and leave, I believe.
Yeah, if you can get to it fast enough, you can have this hand give you a free ride back to the front of the middle.
Time was that when we were doing overworld checks, you couldn't soft lock yourself in Swamp Palace, so you would just fall down that hole immediately.
Yeah, once upon a time, a version or two back, the pinball room always had a small key, and
Always.
I believe that it's still that way in things like cross keys, but for
I think it's.
for
I think
more
it's still
normal
that
modes
way
like
in
this,
basic as well.
I believe you're correct.
But we play advanced. All racing outside of, I think, some mentor tournament stuff is done on advanced.
I think even the Mentor Tournament is running advanced item placement this year.
Hmm. Nothing going on so far though. Waiting to be grabbed by the ghoulie. I'm gonna try to do a bomb jump here. This can be a little finicky, but no problem. It's just a key. Both items are in the back.
Yeah, no joy at all. It's some information that latebit has now, but maybe wants to rush there a little earlier once the fire rod appears, but yeah, right now that's just time burned.
And Latebit's, instead of going to the village, he's gonna go up to Bumper Cave and no mirror, so that's all he's gonna check. Ooh. Oh, fire rod!
Well, alright then.
Latebit's in a little bit of trouble. Oh! Pterodactyl almost ate him.
Yeah, that was a rather spicy moment early on in this game. Latebit just about getting murder-dactyled there.
Alright, they get the fire rod. Still doesn't do that much good without the sword. It is a fire source, at least.
Yeah, that is first fire, and it looks like zer0rush not interested in Skull Woods, even though only that boss would be unclearable at the moment.
Yeah, but well, there's 4 swords out there. Why not wait until you get a sword? That's gonna be your Dark World entry point for a while anyway. Now, zer0rush got bit by not checking the C-shaped house. I noticed that today he checked it immediately. It turned out to be nothing.
But one of those checks where when you skip it and it has something, you're unlikely to forget about it in the near future. And to answer a question in chat, yes, that fire rod is in logic in advanced placement only. Basic placement expects you to have the hook shot to navigate through Bumper Cave, but advanced logic, you can do exactly what those runners did and kind of edge your way along the side of the pit there and pick the pot up. Perfectly legitimate.
Bombs in the brewery.
Don't know that brewing explosives is really the smartest thing in the world, but, well, to each their own.
Well, it's very extremely hoppy beers like that. I don't have a follow-up to that. That was just a bad joke. Oh, I got a better one. It's a nitro stout. Thank you, Cammy.
Yeah, speaking of explosives, however, the front of Thieves Town here not really providing us with very much spark.
The good news is, though, that you can handle laser bridge really easily in this seed. So they both have mirror shields already.
Yeah, point the mirror shield at the laser and start walking.
This is a stingy seed so far.
Yep, burn a start, no sword at nearly half an hour. Here we go.
After 2 generous jet seeds, I guess this was bound to happen.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like what the main tournament did, right? It was a couple of reasonable seeds, and then it was Agaped at the end. Did you roll them an Agaped seed?
And Latebit's just took an on-purpose death. Looks like he's going to leave. I didn't roll the seed, so this isn't my fault. I believe our restreamer, Super Aardvark, rolled the seed.
All right, now chat knows exactly who to thank in case that all of their dearest wishes come true.
Yep. Oh, looking for money.
Not going to go for the 99 strats, just going to go for the safe and easy play. Just stand right next to the guy, wait until the target is in front of that second curtain, and fire the arrow.
Those not familiar. What is the 99 strats?
You have to stick all 5 arrows into the same target. It is substantially less easy.
No, and what's also substantially less easy is killing blind without with just Canberna and not running out of magic.
Well, that half magic that zer0rush found for that out of logic
Will
play in
help.
Eastern Palace is going to come into play here.
Oh man, is Hype Cave gonna actually be Hype Cave today?
That would be asking far too much.
I don't know where else it could be because they're running out of locations. zer0rush, no problem. Looks like you're gonna do a bit of the Smith change. You're gonna have a frog wandering around with him for a while.
Yeah, and that is first blood for zer0rush. 1 crystal on the board at 30 minutes.
Yeah, Dark World Access was on the gold gloves, the Titan's mitts, and it was in Agina. It was the last check for both runners. Nothing going on, Stumpy. Structural Mike asks, does D-Town had an item left in the big chest? I'm actually not sure.
I'm actually not sure either.
Sammy Moss, one of our trackers, Sammy Moss says yes. So that's not great either. Here comes Hype Cave.
Yeah, and that's the kind of play that latebit was trying to avoid by only doing the front part and then taking that intentional death warp back to the start, not wanting to risk leaving something behind in that big chest.
Red Cane doesn't do a lot for you right now, but it's good to have.
Yeah, the trick stick that cracks oh so many Dark World dungeons right in half. You know, Skull Woods and Pod, it'll do just a little, but you start talking about places like Ice Palace and Swamp, yeah, we've got some tricks there for you, folks.
Oh, this is gonna no, there's no mirror.
Yeah, latebit wants to make a full tour out of this, though. Going to go ahead and flip her all the way around to get over to the Pyramid and Catfish area.
I guess you can do the front. No, I don't know. I don't know how far you're gonna get in Palace of Darkness with no hammer. It depends on that first key.
Well, you could get everything except the boss with no hammer. It's the bow that locks away so much, potentially.
Yes, that's true. You will almost certainly get a key in those first couple chests. See what's on the side of the pyramid. Money, which latebit will be happy to pick up.
Yeah, gonna have plenty in the bank at this point. Has done most of the monetary checks now, but, you know, could use it to fill up some potions later, theoretically.
He was also short of getting into Pod.
Also an excellent point.
This will be... Catfish check.
Yep, this catfish play is in logic. We still have Mirrorless Purple Chest, which is disgusting. Palace of Darkness, of course, a chunk of Ice Palace. Yeah, there are still plays that can be made here.
Nothing on catfish. Man.
Cousin of Scamfish with another scam. Who's surprised?
Well, if you have the frog and you go into pod, you lose the frog. So if you're looking at turning in the blacksmith, yes, you're going to ignore pod. I don't know if that's the right play.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what our runners are planning to do next. I mean, latebit's obviously going to turn the smith in, but do you really want to spend all of the time to do the other half of the mirrorless smith sequence?
It's shorten it considerably by saving and quitting and walking the chest from Link's house.
Yeah, then you get to make yet another one of these walks over to the village to get back into the Dark World, because the Light World really is dead to us at the moment.
Or the hammer. You could just have the hammer here and everything is better.
Yeah, the smiths could just hand you one of their spare smithing hammers and say, have a nice life.
So, latebit will immediately do Thieves Town.
No reason to put it off now,
Yeah.
has no problem with that hammer-locked chest.
Pod becomes a lot more enticing. Oh man, Zero still has to pick up the smith, and who knows how long he's going to take to do that.
Yeah, choosing not to go the smith route there, and I wondered if it was because he wanted to go ahead and make the play into Palace of Darkness, and that's not what happened. So yeah,
Might be making it right now.
Yeah, it could just be another loop to go.
Latebit, having done the front of Thieves Town, gonna take the short way to the back. And ZeldaSpeedRush is going into Skull Woods, which he has not done yet.
Going to find one item, but we know that the last item of this is going to be on the boss, and unless that first item under the series of bridges there is a sword, we're still not going to see it.
This also is going to make a very big difference if this hammer-locked item is something important. That could very well decide the whole match. When you orphan this, it's usually pretty loath to go back to it.
It is a supremely difficult location to get back to.
Oh, they're going over each other's look. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I see the speculation going on in chat about why ZeldaRush did neither the Smith World Tour or the dip into Palace of Darkness here, and I'm just as confused as you all are.
While they're going over each other's locations, I just want to mention our trackers tonight as Jinxie Girl and Sammy Moss. Thank you very much for tracking. We would be totally lost without you. And once again, restreamer for the night on ZSR1, Super Aardvark. Thank you again.
Yep, I've tried tracking a couple of games this tournament. I'm terrible at it. Without actual good trackers, it is very difficult for me to get the job done here, so thank you both so much.
Dr. Paula asked, Fire Rod doesn't work on Moth. It works fine on Moth. You just can't get to him. There's a curtain between you and him that you have to swipe with the sword. See what's in this hammer chest.
Yeah, and latebit has that hammer out, already going to town on enemies, is 100% going to go make this check.
Nothing. Oh well.
Yep, nothing dangerous, just one of those checks that's going to linger in the back of zer0rush's mind until he actually gathers in all of his Go Mode items.
zer0rush just walked out of Skullwoods without checking the back chest. Oh no, he did check it. It was the mirror. Excuse me. The mirror. Oh wow, that changes things.
Alright, all of a sudden the smith is a lot easier to get at.
The flute is a lot easier to get at. That's gonna break the seat open. And with hammer, you can do Eastern Death Mountain. You can do Dark Death Mountain.
Now the question becomes all of a sudden, does zer0rush beeline to that flute and try to make use of that in combo with the mirror, or do the smiths still get checked while he's right in the area?
And now latebit is the one with a bad orphan chest. I think zer0rush is doing the Smith's chains immediately. They're going to check the hammer pegs. This will be the slow hammer pegs.
Yeah, if there's anything here, zer0rush is going to be in fine shape to check it.
He brings it up. Once he finds a sword, which is right here, he might go straight for Skullwoods, which would make this all fine. But I don't know about that.
Yeah, knowing that there are two items back there is one thing, but going to go ahead and do purple chest first.
How many times have we said so far? Yeah, they really need to find. Oh, there it is.
Seems to be one of those just-in-time seeds.
Yeah. They do purple chest. They're both doing it. Don't know what it's going to be. I'm Captain Obvious, and I'm here commentating. Zero skip the pegs. What?
zer0rush, please.
Why did you skip the pegs? Vampire steak.
It's like he has an aversion to swords or something.
Sure, I'm in the chat. Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that. Saying it's slow. Does it with the boots.
Yeah, that's fine. What happens when the boots are in Ganon's tower?
Oh man. Well, there's other swords.
What happens when the other swords are on tablets? I mean, if we're going to be cruel about zer0rush skipping over swords, let's go all the way down, right?
Oh man. What happens if Lumberjack has the hook shot? What do we do then?
Well, then I guess we may want to get ready to do some Dark Aga.
Yeah. Oh, latebit is heading straight back to Skullwoods, so that's not going to be that painful of an orphanage.
Yeah, and with the sword, unlike zer0rush, is going to be able to clear it out. So we've had both runners come up here without the ability to do some things, and latebit of the two of them is going to become the first one to clear it, at least, you know, barring the moth just being completely uncooperative.
This amount of health and blue mail. I mean, no half magic, unfortunately, but I don't think it should be that big of a problem.
Yeah, on the fighter sword, I would just get out the hammer, but that's me. We'll see about latebit.
I would say this is a flute to... Well, this is a flute to the chest first, and after that it's a flute to one.
Yep, flute to one, plenty of sense there. Mirror and hammer
Lots
gets
of
you all the way
items.
over to the eastern side of the mountain.
Lets you do Tower of Hera, which is a crystal.
ZeldaRush wants to
Mire
see
first.
the Mire area first. Yeah, you know, find out a little medallion information, couple of quick checks you can make in the Mire Shack, and
Sure.
a quick trot over to the checkerboard cave.
It is Quake, which we have not seen. Meanwhile, they've been taking care of business here with the moth. Bee time.
Gonna try and let the bee do the rest of the work.
Not quite. There we go. Nothing going on in the closet.
Oh my! I spy with my little eye a hook shot off the moth.
Oh, wow. Oh, now the question becomes, when does zer0rush go back to the moth?
Having already pulled the mirror and then the flute
Ooh.
thanks to the mirror, wow.
He's going back in for the mirror. All right. I think latebit just took the lead.
This certainly has a bit of a back and forth feel to it, doesn't it? Every time you think one runner is gaining an advantage, the other one is coming in and nullifying it, or maybe even overtaking.
All right, so this will be a flute capture immediately. I think. Oh yeah, it will be. You hit. No, I don't know. Is he just climbing the mountain?
I think he's just climbing the mountain.
Why?
I know that he jumped in and saw the flute. It's not as though he doesn't know it's there.
No, he might just be doing a check. This might just be a. This is starting to feel bad. Desert is boots locked. Just a big red.
Yep, that one's easy to ignore. Latebit looks like it's still going to be the climb the mountain this way play. Going to go ahead and leave the flute for later.
Nothing inside of Spectacle Rock. Nothing on Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, a couple of pieces of heart if you're feeling a little
Insecure.
low on the health pool here, but if you need a little bit of love, you can find it on Spectacle Rock. And we're going to see Tower of Hera out of zer0rush, as you mentioned a little bit ago. Fully clearable Crystal Dungeon, no reason to put it off.
Nope.
But latebit has that hookshot and could Herapod if he's so inclined.
Might not be a reason to. Well, you can skip a lot of the dungeon, so it's a pretty good reason, I guess, in a speedrun. I finished 1-4 for a reason, guys.
Yeah, it's a decent time save as long as you can pull it off in a timely manner, and latebit wants to go around, wants to see if maybe there are some swords or other things that'll make killing the boss here a little nicer. Personally, I feel like the hammer does a good enough job, but latebit may have other designs here.
I'll catch you next.
Yep, and seeing more speculation in chat here about the reason for leaving the flute behind. Maybe thought it was bombs instead. Maybe just kind of forgot you scouted that item. I think we've all done these things. If you've played enough Seed, you certainly have.
Quake, which we know is important, and the book.
Book could be interesting. Going to give latebit another sight check at least. Can walk over to the ether tablet and find out what's there.
Trollorm gets Zero-Rush.
We call it that for a reason, don't we?
We also need the boots for go mode. There's chat is asking, are we in pseudo go mode? We have no idea where the boots are, and desert is. Oh, desert's a pendant. Maybe we don't need the boots. You're right.
And that was a second sword up there on the floating island, and latebit is going to go ahead and enter at Turtle Rock. We'll see Turtle Rock's medallion, which is ether. We are now hunting ether.
Lamps on Moldorm. Sure. Okay.
Alright, game. That's fine.
That's cool.
Ain't nobody gonna turn it down. Yeah, Zer0rush doing this long, slow walk through Spiral Cave should see soon, if has not already, that sword up on the floating island, which is going to be first sword for Zer0rush.
Mushroom, which you can just turn in whenever you want.
Well, Zer0rush can turn it in whenever he wants. latebit is still in arrears a flute yet.
JPN, I can't see his tracker. No, he does not have Misery Mire marked as the Quake.
Yeah, there has been some discussion about how do you want to track things that one runner knows that the other doesn't. In this case, we're still opting for just putting the information on both trackers.
Check what's on the Ether tablet. Just some money.
Yeah, $50 is no longer really the kind of thing either of these runners is concerned about.
Zer0rush can't check the hookshot cave. I don't believe there was anything that important in there.
I think the mushroom was hooked.
The mushroom was there, but that's still another location. Oh boy, latebit takes a bad fall.
Got a little too bounced around from releasing that sword spin and fell right into the pit.
Ah, not a huge time loss. No Harapot.
Yep, at least most of the hardhat beetles that he had killed had already completed their expiration animation and thus did not respawn on him.
Do the bomb jump for this.
Yep, and Zero going to go in here without the ability to check any of it because passing on through is required for what he believes to be the first sword.
There we go.
Yep, another boss down on latebit's side. The reward is that lamp, and also his third crystal of this match, going to go ahead and retake the crystal lead here. Yeah, both of our runners now going to go ahead and do Spike Cave. zer0rush is going to show it to us first. Just 10 sticks, though.
latebit doing the spike room.
Yep,
Some call it the
zer0rush
torch room.
just got through.
Nothing. There's nothing going on there. I don't recall a time where there was ever been an item on there. That's such a late sphere check.
Not unlike Turtle Rock, it requires an awful lot to actually get into and through, so it is a little bit difficult for the game to put things there sometimes. Now, let's see what latebit wants to do here. Is this time to get the flute? It looks like it might be.
Yes.
Of course,
So
Swamp is also fully available, so we may see a quick play after flute activation right back over here.
So maybe it was just a routing decision, because how much time do you really save by getting flute first?
Yeah, once you have flute, it's easy enough to flute to 4 and come right back.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems likely we're going to get a little divergence here. zer0rush now into the Palace of Darkness, finds a small key in that first check, going to go ahead and go to the bow-locked side next, which is, you know, not really a problem. You have the mirror, you can do this in pretty much whatever order you want. Meanwhile, we'll get this flute activation from latebit. Would not be surprised to see a quick play over to the Meyer area for more medallion information. Then it'll be kind of official. He'll know that Quake is the thing there.
latebit gonna go ahead and flute down to 6. You do ether. You do ether. You do Misery Mire now, right?
That doesn't seem like a whole lot of reason to put it off. You know that you're still looking for ether, but it's another one of those crystal dungeons that you've got all of the tools to complete.
I would say, yeah, you're here, you do Mire, and then once you finish all the checks in the zone, you go on and do Swamp, because it's not only 6 chests, but it's the other red crystal.
Yeah, at this point, it's really a matter of options, and I could understand a desire maybe to leave Meyer off for a little bit, since it's just 2 items versus the higher density in both Pod and Swamp.
I don't believe he is, though. The other reason you might want to leave Meyer off is because that's a lot of checks to get the 2 chests too. There's an awful lot of garbage.
Yep, definitely a time-consuming dungeon, another one of those that gets a little nicer when you have boots, and, well, we know that Desert is boots locked, but Desert is a pendant, so maybe the game just doesn't care. This could also, on latebit's side, be an attempt to push this hookshot find on Mothula.
which Zero still has not done that. That's a pretty okay first turn.
Yeah, for games only, that was really clean.
It seems like nothing's going on in Pod.
Well, Pod does have that tendency to be keys, keys, keys. So,
Yes.
you know, we're finally out of the locations that can contain those small keys. Maybe we'll see a little more now.
Oh, the boots!
Like the boots.
That could make a very big difference if latebit finds Ether before he gets there, because he'll go mode everything and he will not get those boots.
Yeah, once again, we have a bit of an interesting positional, I don't know if change is the right word there, but shift certainly is. How long does latebit put off Palace of Darkness, and does the, you know, potentially go mode Ether Medallion show up before that happens?
A little bit of magic trouble here. Or you get silvers.
Yeah, silvers is not a bad find. That gets the job done on an awful lot of things.
And now it's the other way around. Also, if Zer0rush finds Ether before he finds silvers, he's never going to find that item.
Yeah, definitely becoming a bit curious here as to, you know, not only where Ether is, but whether or not our runners are going to find a couple of items that the other ones have found.
Everyone keeps making the jokes that Zero doesn't need swords, Zero doesn't need swords, but remember, it was sword advantage that won late-bit game 2, and nothing else. Having tempered versus having master on Ganon makes a very, very big difference.
It is a substantial improvement, and of course you're going to need 2 swords at least to hurt Ganon at all.
Only thing in Pod was boots.
Yep, boots and a crystal, so Zer0rush can tie that crystal count back up at 3, but latebit is on the way to Vitreous. With those silvers now, you know, before it was a little bit of a question, how much magic are you going to use? Are you going to cape up and do some master sword spins? What are you going to do?
Oh, it's
Now it's
now.
just 11 silver arrows and you machine gun all those eyeballs down, and the problem goes away.
I think Zer0rush is going to do buff. Excuse me. I think Zer0rush is going to do buff.
Yeah, not wanting to get burned again by jumping into the front of Hookshotless Swamp Palace is going to pay out here.
Won't pay out is this double dip. Zer0rush is a little bit behind at this point. Oh
yeah,
man,
like
I think
silvers in that crystal are the answer that latebit wanted.
Yeah, I think latebit left an item on the left side. I think.
Well, whether he did or did not, he does not
leaving.
look at all interested in going back in.
Gonna check the front of the Desert Palace. Find the same boots locked, which might actually work to his advantage.
And we're going to see Hammer Mothula on Zero's side.
What? Why? Why do this? Instead of using the fire rod.
It only takes 4
Makes it a little
hammerheads,
faster.
so
Okay.
could be a little faster. Depends on how well the moth cooperates.
I did not realize it was faster with the hammer. I can't hit the guy with the hammer for the save of my life.
In any event, we now have both of our runners at a crystal count of 4, and 8-bit is heading for pod. Still no ether. We know ether's not in there, so he is going to wind up finding the boots.
He will find the boots, yes. Ooh, we can get a pedestal check. We're not going to get a pedestal check.
Nope, just a flute away.
It's not like out of the question that the ether can be on the pedestal.
Yep, entirely possible. Could be hiding out in Ice Palace as well. And I see now we're passing around that meme of there's always a sword in swamp. Well, there sure was in game 2. So, once again, we're kind of in this interesting position like Game 2, where 8-bit has a sword advantage, and if zer0rush happens to find the Ether Medallion here in Swamp, would be kind of nominally go mode first. Of course, you need to find that second sword somewhere, but how much do you just want to bank? Well, it's on the way in the dungeons that I still have to do.
There's ether. It's just right there.
Yeah, it's just right there. Just go to the dungeon.
Alright, so that is not an advantage on any side, because they're both going to have to do these dungeons.
Yep, that's now sword mode for zer0rush, while 8-bit needs to go over to Swamp Palace and find that Ether Medallion.
Yeah, if zer0rush doesn't find a sword, he'll still be looking at all the chests in Mire, for instance. And I do apologize. I've been running around all day, so I'm a little tired. If you're hearing me yawn, it is not in any relation to the match. Oh, so it was a God Mire, so Zero's likely to miss the silver, so he might be doing Master Sword silverless, which is very, very long.
Yeah, more likely if a sword turns up in Swamp Palace. If he's still looking for a sword, maybe he makes a couple of extra checks there in Mire and happens across those silvers. It is a bit of an open question at the moment. And welcome, ZeldaSpeedRuns 2, a raiding party of 86. You are joining at the hour and 7-minute mark, the ultimate game, game 3 out of 3 of the Link to the Past Randomizer 2021 Challenge Cup tournament. You know, this series is tied up 1-1 between zer0rush and 8-bit. Each of our runners is just looking for one more item for go mode. It's a sword needed on zer0rush's side, and 8-bit needs to find the Ether Medallion.
zer0rush gonna wipe out Swamp Palace here. Still has to do all of Mire. But as it was mentioned before, it is a God Mire. So it could pick up some speed there.
Yeah, could pick up some speed at the cost of missing those silvers, theoretically.
Yeah, latebit will have a faster Argus. He doesn't have to do this. So this is a really, really, really nice Fighter Sword Argus.
Yep, really well executed there on zer0rush's side, going to go for the 4 Fire Rod shot phase 2, and very cleanly done there as well.
Alright, latebit gonna head right back to Helmasaur. Meanwhile, zer0rush finishing off Argus. Getting his 5th crystal. And second red crystal.
Yep, that is the crystal lead changing hands for the first time in a while. Now, latebit's going to come and tie that right back up here in a minute when he faces off with Helmasaur King, but that's the first time since very early on in this match that zer0rush has taken the crystal lead.
And this will be Godmire. I would expect. I don't believe he's going to search for a sword here.
Long, slow dungeon that you don't really want to be fishing around in if you don't have to.
He still has a lot of Turtle Rock, which has 5 items in it, plus Gan's Tower. Though you really don't want to be hunting for your second sword in Gan's Tower. No sword beam, so having to use the Fire Rod. Having a little bit of trouble with the Helmasaurs.
Yeah, Fire Rod's okay, especially on zer0rush's side with that half magic.
Well, let's see. Does he take the Godmire? He does. He's absolutely going to. He's gonna try to hover out.
Yep, going to gain some time there, going to not see the silver arrows.
Latebit's gonna be in go mode the second he starts doing Swamp Howl, so he's gonna skip the rest of it.
I could see checking the diver down chests in case the third sword happens to be sitting in there, but other than that, yeah, going to rush straight on through, skipping the southern loop chest I would think is absolutely on the table for him.
It's the glitch.
So this will be a little bit more of an interesting fight for zer0rush with the plastic Fisher-Price Hero's first sword and not a whole lot else. Some bombs, some arrows, no silvers.
If anyone can do it, it's zer0rush.
Undoubtedly has the skill to do it, it's just time-consuming. Those fighter sword spins do not do a whole lot of damage.
No, and he's about to be out of... Well, I'm gonna try to switch to the bow, but he's out of magic now, so he can't sit in there too much longer. I don't believe he has a refill either. Uh-oh. Gonna have to play this very safe now.
Yep,
should be okay if
Harris now.
He's good. Over. He's good. Right.
Just the map and Crystal 6.
As latebit walks into his Crystal 6. I would think zer0rush is going to go straight to Turtle Rock and just take his chances. Remember, this is game 3. If you guess wrong here, you lose.
Yep, the play into Turtle Rock is still missing a go mode item worked out for zer0rush in game 1 when the Ice Rod was hanging out there. Going to go hope for a sword this time. Just in case anybody has joined us late, the sword that zer0rush is missing is sitting in hammer pegs. The smiths handed out the hammer, And we had a God Mire, and the silvers were in Mire and not on the God Mire path.
We keep thinking that latebit might be ahead, but I don't know. If zer0rush finds a sword, he might have a big enough lead to make the sword advantage and the silver's advantage not matter. But that's if we find the sword.
Yeah, that really is predicated upon the idea that there is a sword in zer0rush's way, and he does not have to go out of his way hunting for one.
They're not all in pendant dungeons or something, which is not likely, but not impossible.
Yeah, you know, something like a boots-locked sword in
Yeah.
Desert Palace could just be one hiding out in Green Pendant Ice. Could be on the Green Pendant for all we know. Could be on this mushroom that latebit didn't check. And I can't imagine that zer0rush would check that before going up to Turtle Rock and then into Ganon's Tower. Too much
walking
density.
in right now. But latebit's going to catch up a little bit here.
Given just how clean zer0rush's Argus fight was, I don't expect latebit to gain a whole lot of time here, but that sword advantage is going to start proving out, I think.
He also doesn't have to do Hookshot Cave. He's done it already. I think latebit is just checking the chests that are literally on the way. But, latebit taking care of Argus. No problem. He'll be heading directly to Turtle Rock. Probably about a minute behind. Which means that latebit's likely in the lead with the silvers. That's more than a minute on Ganon.
Depending on where the swords end
Oh
up.
no!
That is recoverable. You can fire from here. You still have enough time.
Oh man. Why do you... Oh, he wants to get a blue potion or two for, Yeah, that's a fair safety to get when you're, don't have half magic.
Yep, you're on normal magic, you're still on the Master Sword. Hammer Trinex does not always cooperate. Yeah, making sure that you have a little bit of added safety before you go up there makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Especially if it just calms you down a little bit, because you're an hour and 16 minutes into Game 3 against the player who was the prohibitive favorite amongst the people who were, you know, actually filling out brackets when this thing started. Who did most people think was going to win this thing? zer0rush, and most of them thought he was going to do it pretty easily, but here we have latebit, an hour and 17 minutes into Game 3, pushing, you know, the man that the people thought was going to be the easy champion of this to the limit.
He's gonna be about 2 minutes behind. No sword so far. Big key in the meanest place it could be.
Yep, that's the one thing you don't want to see, particularly if you're latebit and you're trying to go mode this dungeon, is that big key in its vanilla location. So, still looking for the sword there. Zero is going to go out and around here. We may even see the Mimic Cave check.
Reminder, zer0rush placed 196 in qualifiers and latebit 204, so they're actually very close.
I understand from people who ran them that a lot of those qualifiers were kind of nightmarish. Just a green rupee there in the big chest of Turtle Rock. zer0rush kind of running low on checks here, looking for that second sword.
Yeah, about a 2.5 minute difference easily can be made up for in Ganon. Still no sword. Let's see what Laser Bridge has first.
Going to have to find a small key there, and there it is on the first chest, so 3 more chances here.
And it's another chance for latebit to make up a bit of this time. Boy, nothing.
Nope, we saw both the map and the compass there. There is an item on Trinex.
Yeah, latebit can just absolutely go mode this, so just gonna walk right by. Swords on Trinex is still a sword advantage.
Yeah, any sword directly on the path that zer0rush finds is going to end up in a late-bit sword advantage for a second game in a row.
Why is Trinex named Trinex?
Because it has 3 necks, I think.
Oh, it's because it's what his mother named him.
Well, that's fine, but where's his mother? I'd like to have a word. Good start to that hammer Trinex, then it got a little out of hand, but zer0rush is going to clean it up there.
Yeah,
A few more
no real
explosions
problem.
and we'll see this final item.
20 rupees. Yep, and latebit's gonna check the other chests.
Could well be hoping for one more sword.
I guess you have the mirror shield, why not? But I don't know. I mean, he doesn't know what zer0rush is doing. He just knows it's been a stingy seed. He's moving really fast, and he won with a tempered sword advantage yesterday. So he's hoping maybe latebit didn't check it, and then, zer0rush didn't check it.
Yeah, and there's no way to think, oh, my opponent got a hammer on Smiths and then did not immediately turn right back around and do hammer pegs. You can't think that. No runner thinks that.
There was a crazy thing that happened. Well, he's still gonna check items.
Wants to see if Ether Tablet has a sword because he could get up to tempered if another sword happens to show up early in GT, but no, not to be today.
Or if there's no sword, you just get the sword there. It's nice.
Well, you need at least the Master Sword to pull a sword off of the tablet. So here we are, zer0rush making checks in the basement of Ganon's Tower, 22 possible locations for a big key.
They've been in a little bit of trouble. He's okay.
And 23 possible locations in the basement for a sword, plus a handful on the climb.
Oh, goodbye, Bob. That's Bob's torch. If we get further in, you won't see, but there's a glitched anti-fairy that if you don't get that item exists.
Yep.
There's a
picking up
sword.
Keys. There's a sword.
But that's all. But Latebit does Dark Magician, so that's going to be a on the critical path.
Yep, so still sword advantage, and still going to have that silver's advantage. How much time is latebit going to be able to claw back here?
Ah, shovel. Really nice hookshot execution there.
Makes the room look really easy. I know a lot of people, myself included, do not always get that strat to go off properly.
No matter what happens, Latebit is going to have an advantage from Ganon because he has the silvers. Even if there's another sword in the basement where Zero-Rush can now tempered spin, that's still much slower than just hitting with 4 arrows. And this is a little bit of trouble because Latebit is going to get to this chest later.
Yep, latebit going to give back a little more time with this preferred magician strat. Zero-Rush starting the climb at 125.17.
A little bit more cushion. It's about probably another minute at the most. Execution here. Mastered spins is bad.
Latebit does have a nice time with those 3 Gibdos. Got into the compass room here pretty quickly.
Yep. Well, I got red mail, so that's probably not that important at this point. Alright, I'll do the rest of the left. But Zero-Rush is making it look easy.
Yeah, the red Zezak's giving him a little bit of a time. The Master Sword does not quite do enough damage in one shot, but a little Fire Rod to help clean things up. And a very nice
item.
Fire Rod Lanmo too.
Late been having a little bit of trouble with these Crystal Switch puzzles.
Yep, needed to backtrack to reset the pegs. Unfortunately, a little more time handed away.
Zero-Rush is gonna need that time. Half Magic was in the big chest of Eastern Palace. Yeah, if he does get clean, this looks like Zero should win. But we said that last night.
Alright, we are now 2.5 minutes from the beginning of Zero's climb. Latebit is beginning the climb.
This is going to be close. Getting excited. This is going to be a close one, I think. Because it's not just the 90 seconds on Ganon. You save some time by virtue of having the tempered sword for the rest of the dungeon.
Yep, absolutely a fitting final for a fitting final game. And that Moldorm 2 fall is going to allow latebit to claw a little bit of that back.
Nice damage boost strat by latebit. Getting through those cannonballs. Another fall! Oh no!
And the worm turns.
See when he leaves Trolldorm. Let's check that time. He's just doing spins at this point because he's fed up with the hammer, I believe. Ooh, latebit having a little bit of trouble. Alright.
Crossing over to the ultimate chest of the game at 129.24.
129.24. Let's see when latebit does it.
And as nice as zer0rush's Fire Rod Landmo 2 was, latebit's 3 silver shots for 3 worm kills Landmo 2 a little faster.
Only gets one. Only gets one again. Only gets one again! Not nice geometry.
The wizard not
that's a double.
cooperating.
Alright.
1-1-1-2-1, a 5-cycle Aga 2. zer0rush waiting for the pig to appear and fly away.
Ooh. latebit almost had his run end. He just had enough magic. And it gave him a hard time with it too. I think this might be too much. I think this might be too much.
zer0rush going for these Samaria spin strats. We've seen them out of him previously.
You're rushing a little bit of trouble though, health-wise. I don't believe he has refills. No problem with Trolldorm. So 131.15 when he crossed over. He died! He's died! That's game over! Oh no! Oh man!
zer0rush, no time to stop and shake it off, is going to drop right back in and start again. But that is exactly the kind of thing latebit needed to close the remainder of this gap.
I don't know if it was at least much closer. latebit is certainly in the lead now. That's 2. That's a double. That's a single. Let's see if one cycle would be good. He does not. 4. He can get a double on this one and save a cycle. Still, he's only at 2 hearts as well, however. But he has blue potions. Got it.
zer0rush into phase 2, now employing the cape.
latebit has 2 blue potions on him. I would expect him to use one immediately. He died again.
He hugged the pig.
He hugged the pig? He hugged the pig! That puts latebit into the lead with a commanding lead. latebit... Oh, 2 hearts though. Does he have a fairy? I don't actually know.
I mean, we saw him buy those 2 blues.
We bought those
What else
potions.
does
Just
he
use the
have?
potions. Use the potions. Oh, he's gonna burn through his magic first and then use the potion. That's smarter.
Yep, going to go ahead and cape up, make sure that he pushes all the way through phase 2.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. Hit that one. This is latebits to lose at this point. Because this is phase 3.
Yeah, as you've seen though on zer0rush's side, the turning nerves, that game 3, that last game, it's real. It is very real.
Can we get 2 more games of this? Yeah, I know. It's been a great series. He died again. It's over.
Yep, latebit now all the way through Phase 3. Ganon is going to inform us that silvers are in fact his one true weakness, and latebit already has one stick into the pig.
He's going to get another 2 here, at least. And he's going to 1 stick away. This is going to be it! Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Challenge Cup champion, latebit! Long as he walks into the door. He did it! It's over with an official time of 1:34.18.
Get your GGs in chat, everybody. That was a fitting end to a very, very wonderfully played final series between these two runners. latebit has, in fact, taken the championship.
Right. zer0rush has forfeited. Or did not finish. I think we're just waiting. We're gonna have a brief interview and a presentation. We have latebit in here. latebit, congratulations!
Somebody pinch me.
I can't. We're over the internet.
I can't wake you up. You're not dreaming.
You're not dreaming.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those no-word situations sometimes, right? You think, I did all this, but this is the part where you get to let it sink in for a hot second.
Yep, we're gonna bring in
How does
zer0rush
it
as
feel?
well. We're welcoming in as well zer0rush. zer0rush, that is a tough beat.
I mean, I wouldn't really call it a beat. That's kind of my fault. So, just poor play, really.
Yep. So big congratulations to latebit. Coming from behind in 2 straight matches.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good games, man. Those are tight races.
GG's, man, I can't believe this. I don't think I've ever felt as doomed as I did when I saw those boots just sitting for free in pod.
Yeah, we were commenting on that the whole time too. It was a very interesting scene. We couldn't tell who was ahead until near the very end, just because there were different speed gains that each of you had. You both had an extremely divergent paths.
Yeah, I figured that was a wide open seed. Progression was just kind of everywhere.
Yeah. It was pretty straightforward. I went to back of skull, which ended up working without a sword, which ended up working out. I don't know if there was another sword somewhere, but I felt pretty confident there. And then I kind of just ran into everything else.
Yep, it was another sword advantage that made a very big difference, and silvers. But that was just luck in when you got which item.
I'm gonna assume he go moded Meyer.
Yes, that was Godmire.
Yeah.
That's the absolute correct play.
Where was the sword in Meyer?
There wasn't a sword in Meyer. Silvers were in Meyer.
Oh, which
Behind the torches.
okay, there's no chance I was ever going to do that.
The sword that you didn't get that latebit got was on hammer pegs.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, Smith Chain was pretty loaded in this seed.
Yeah, Smith Chain was wild. So, big congratulations to both of you making it for a finalist and our champion. I don't want to see either of you in this tournament next year. Please qualify for the main tournament.
I don't know, man. The talent pool is just so deep nowadays that it's hard.
No, people have a misconception that this is a newbie tournament or a beginner's tournament. It really, really isn't. This has kind of become the mid-level tournament.
Yeah, there's a ton of spillover from the main.
Yeah.
tournament.
You just have 6 bad qualifier seeds, and here we are.
Yeah, these were not even our top 2 amongst the Challenge Cup contenders. I think we had a couple of 140s-ish in Immortal Koi and Maya Neko, actually.
We had like a 130, 135, I think, at some points, too.
Yeah, we had some people who just barely did not make it, so that nobody out there think that the talent pool ends at the people that you saw in brackets for main tourney. The talent pool in Link to the Past
It's
Rando is getting deeper by the day, and if you don't
incredibly
believe me,
deep.
watch some of the Mentor tournament, because some of those
Yeah.
runners, you're going to see those names, and you're going to see them soon.
Yes, absolutely. So, with that, finally ends the 4-month odyssey that has been this Challenge Cup. This is the longest thing I've ever done in my life, I think. That is like work. I have a lot of people I have to thank, so let's go right down the list. All the commentators, all the trackers, all the restreamers, ZSR, GMP, all the other channels are restreamed. I think Nordic Randomizer got some. There are some I'm sure I'm forgetting about, and I apologize. I just I don't have them at hand. All the other admins as well. Alazun, Lost the Pirate, Lumaga, Zell. Who am I missing? Tresco, of course, the head of ZSR. Big thanks to everybody who ran, everybody who participated, everybody who's watching. This whole thing doesn't happen without all of this. And with that, I think we're gonna bring the Challenge Cup to an end at long last. Latebit, you're the champion. Latebit, you're the champion. You have anything to say?
Still waiting for that pinch. It's not sinking in.
For this restream, I want to especially thank Jinxie Girl and Sarimas. I want to thank our restreamers, Super Duper Aardvark. I want to thank my co-commentator, who has been the voice of the Challenge Cup for this entire tournament this year, Mind DM.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I don't know that I had really planned on being quite that prominent in this role, but we got into brackets, and there was kind of this conversation in the restream coordination channel of, well, what are we expecting to happen first? Are we going to have restreamers pick matches, or are we going to have people sign up who want to go, and then we'll kind of present that to restreamers? And once that conversation happened, I just said, well, you know what? I'm just going to start putting my name down places, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
And, this is where it ended up.
Ooh. All right, and with that, I think we're going to wrap up the Challenge Cup.
Thanks.
Super
everybody.
All right.
Last.
What's coming up on ZSR?
I will tell you, we got nothing else tonight, but bright and early tomorrow morning on this very channel, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, Majora's Mask Randomizer Season 2 Qualifier number 7. ZSR 2 at 9 a.m. we got Ocarina of Time Randomizer. And then again on the main channel right here, 11 a.m. Wind Waker Randomizer Challenge Cup. And even more throughout the day. I'm going to link the schedule here in the chat, and you can check out all of the great Zelda speedruns action coming your way. Thank you to everyone in this race and in the whole Challenge Cup. This has been a fantastic tournament to watch, and I'll see y'all next time.